Sunday. It's 4:49 in the morning, 10 to 5 local time. And I just decided to try something crazy, because I don't know why, but you know, Uber shows
continue on 128th Avenue Northeast for 1 kilometer.
Uber shows 3.6 times boost in downtown Calgary from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. and I'm not sure, like, have you ordered delivery at 4 in the morning? Like, I know I haven't, but you know, they're paying extra money, and of course, you know, there's not that many crazy people that wanna try this so early. But I set up my alarm for like 4:30, and it really startled me, you know, like at 4:30 it starts purr like my cell phone. I'm like, what the heck, why is it blaring at 4:30? And then I remembered, hey, I wanted to try this because yesterday was Saturday, and I tried this crazy business from, I think, at 10 in the morning till 2, and then 4:30 to 7:30. And I had two apps, Uber Eats and DoorDash, and it was like a major waste of time, you know. Not busy. Well, it was busy, but you know, some crazy stuff like
In 400 meters, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Métis Trail Northeast.
some crazy stuff where they wanted to go like 15 clicks for $5, you know. Oh, check
Use
this
the
out.
left 2 lanes to turn left onto Métis Trail Northeast. Continue on Métis Trail Northeast for 1 kilometer.
So I'm heading downtown. What's cool about Sundays is, as I discovered last week, that all day there's free parking. And of course, that's the big, you know, danger downtown, is that, you know, you can get a parking ticket, right, when you're dropping off your
600 meters, turn right onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
Where are you sending me? Ah, okay. It's sending me on towards Highway 2. But I thought I would show you guys, like, you know, this
Turn right onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
night driving. So basically, yeah, there's two big advantages
Continue on Country Hills Boulevard Northeast for 3 kilometers.
towards getting up at this ungodly hour. One is that there's free parking, right, downtown, and advantage number 2 is that there shouldn't be too much traffic. And so last time I was there, I was downtown. Well, I call downtown anything around Highway 1. Highway 1 and Highway 2. And that's where I'm going. So last time I was there, I found a gas station, you know, like a 24/7 gas station that's open. it's SO. But that's what I put into my GPS. Now this section, like probably like 1 kilometer over here, there's like potholes up. You can lose a wheel over here. Oh man, I feel sleepy a little bit. Just not too used to this is my first time probably driving the Jeep so early in the morning, so that's why I'm doing a video. But you see, open. A&W, my favorite burger place in Canada, is open. Tim Hortons is open for coffee. McDonald's is open. So the same stuff should be happening downtown. But over here, there's no boost pay, right? So whereas in over there it's like 3.6, but that only applies to the base pay with Uber, which is like, I don't know, $3, $4, you know, per day.
500 meters, use the right lane to take the ramp to Alberta 2 South.
But we'll try it, right? We'll see what happens.
Use the right lane to take the ramp to Alberta 2 South. Continue for 800 meters.
And we're going to the freeway here. And so yeah, tomorrow, Monday, so I booked the appointment with that muffler place, because, you know, I need content, right? That's one of the reasons.
In 300 meters, merge onto Alberta 2 South.
I noticed that when I do videos about cars, people at least watch, you know. And so we're gonna straight pipe the Jeep.
Continue on Alberta 2 South for 10 kilometers.
But I already ordered Spin Tech from California, and I believe it's been shipped, so I should get it probably in a week or so. That's all we're gonna be doing. Basically 2 projects. First, we're gonna straight pipe the thing, and then when I get the Spin Tech, I'm going back and we're going to put the Spin Tech in. So at least that will give me material for 2 videos, because we're gonna compare how the car performs and how how it sounds. Like stock right now compared to no mufflers, and then compared to the Spintic setup, right? By the way, I was supposed to have a photo shoot Saturday at 11:45 in the morning, or rather pretty much like noon to 4. I was supposed to go close to downtown and take photos at a food market. And they gave me the address. It's some kind of a like a community center that you can rent for events. And I go to that website, and it's a schedule of events, and for some reason I don't see anything for this, you know, Saturday. Now look at this guy. Speed limit is 100. He's driving what, 65? And so I didn't see anything scheduled for Saturday, which was kind of like weird, because if it's a, you know, if it's a food market, these guys should have, you know, there should have been some kind of an announcement, like how do you attract people to that event if it's not advertised, right? And then 9 o'clock I see a text message coming in, and this guy says, Sergei, due to some unforeseen circumstances, the event has been postponed. Okay. And the weather yesterday was super nice. I'm not sure if that food market was happening.
In 3 kilometers, take exit 258 for Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1, for Banff Medicine Hat.
Yeah, I don't know if it was happening outside or inside, but outside would be super nice, whereas on Friday it was raining, and it was cloudy, you know, like not good for photography. But Saturday the weather was perfect, and they canceled. See, like, it's not that far. It's only what, probably like 10 kilometers. But again, I never tried it. I'm just curious, who's ordering what at such an ungodly hour at 5 in the morning? I went to a liquor store yesterday, and I talked to the girl there at the counter about this. I said, because she looked like, I don't know, 16 years old, but she's probably, I don't know, 22, 23. I said, do you ever order food or coffee at 5 in the morning? And she said, well, sometimes when we go, you know, partying with my friends, and when we stay out.
100 meters, take exit 258 for Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1, for Banff Medicine Hat.
And she said, we stay out until like 3 in the morning. And then sometimes we feel hungry at like 6 or 5 or something, you know. Okay, 258. So
600 meters, keep right at the fork. Follow signs for Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 West.
so this is Highway 1. No, wait, Highway 16. Well, all I know is, yeah, see, yeah. So it's.
Keep right at the fork.
See, people are driving Sunday morning. Well, basically the plan is to park at this Esso and go inside and get some coffee. Oh man. And turn on the Uber app and see what happens, you know. But I checked DoorDash because they show when you can schedule, and there's nothing for this early in the morning, so there's no DoorDash. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but one way to tell a drunk driver from sober driver is that sometimes these guys would drive with no lights. You know that? Like at night, or like this early morning, and you see a car. Oh, wait a second, isn't that... Where am I going? Esso?
In 400 meters, turn right onto Edmonton Trail.
Oh yeah, so it's pretty much, you know, the same setup. Like there's a gas station and you can park. Oh yeah, I think it's this one, because I know there's a couple of restaurants here, but of course, you know, they're not open. Yeah, so there's 7-Eleven here.
Turn right onto Edmonton Trail, then your destination will be on the left.
And here there's a yeah, I see over here.
Head west on Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 West. Head southeast toward Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 West, then turn right onto Trans-Canada Highway.
And these guys are sitting in cars, so they're either criminals or Uber, I'm guessing. Probably look like... Wow, this is bright.
Your destination is on the right.
All right, is it open? Well, it says 24/7. Smart Stop 24/7. Yeah. Let's go get some coffee, and then we'll start the app. Click this magic button, go, and see what happens. Yeah, there's no coffee. It says 24/7, and there's a Tim Hortons inside. I went in, and the guy says, no, there's a guy in there. There's a guy doing something inside the Tim Hortons, you know, getting ready for the day. But I said, are you guys open? Oh, no, it's 6. And I asked the clerk is there. I said, so what, no coffee? He said, well, you can go across the street to 7-Eleven. They might be open. Actually, they do have, like inside 7-Eleven, right, there's coffee. But this is much bigger. Anyway, here's the magic button. Let the magic happen. And it says you're online and we are finding trips. But if you go here, DoorDash, look, you see, it's nothing, because it's supposed to be red when it's busy. So now I'm here. I'm pretty much, this is called Calgary Central. So if you click schedule, the only time available is 5 to 6:30 p.m. Like there's nothing this early in the morning. What? Police, and this is the second ambulance. There was a first one just a couple of minutes ago. So I don't know, but it does say 3.6 times boost. And actually look at this, it does show busy. See, like these little icons here, A and W, not too far from me. What is it, 1.2 kilometers? Busy. The McDonald's across the river is busy, you know. But again, I never did this before. I think like McDonald's, you probably have to go through the drive-through. There's a guy with a pickup truck towing a boat at 5 in the morning getting gas. So somebody's out for some early fishing. So first offer, 13 kilometers total, $7. Forget it. But there is something's happening. Like somebody's ordering. I think it was this A&W somewhere there, but $7 for 12 kilometers. That's total BS. Well, I did go across the street to 7-Eleven. Talked to a nice Indian fellow over there. They do have coffee, and you have to get the key to use the washroom. And I got some water, and it's already getting light, you know, because the time now is what, 5:30, and the sunrise is at I believe 5:58. Wow, look at this. DoorDash says Calgary East, where I'm from, is now busy. You know, it's with these apps, it's always the story. Like you leave one area, like usually Central is busy, right? At all times of the day, but East is never that busy. Now East is busy where I live, so I should have, if I knew this, I should have stayed at, you know, over there. But these guys, so okay, I put it on pause. See, like with Uber Eats, there's this little picture of a coffee mug, and if you click that, that puts you on kind of like a break, right? Coffee break. Okay, but you see this? So I'm here, so they want me to go here and then deliver, like, I don't know, 300 meters. And so total it's 11 clicks, $7. McDonald's, see, somebody is offering at 5:30 from McDonald's, but at 50 cents a kilometer, I would have to say no. Now again, the way I look at it is okay, where's my light? The way I look at it is I'm looking for at least $1.50 per kilometer, because otherwise it's not worth it. So let's say something like that, 11 kilometers or 11 clicks, right? So times 1.5, so it should pay like $15. Okay, then it's worth my time. But it's like, it's surprising. So there are people that are ordering at 5:30 in the morning, and the first one was what, like 5:10, 5:15. But again, it was also cheap. I tried last Sunday. I came down here. I came to Calgary Central, but I think it was around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was not busy. So now basically I'm just kind of like testing the market and see, to see what might work, because again, each area is different, like each province or state or city. Like if this was Toronto, I'm pretty sure it would be like 24/7. It would be busy. People would be ordering stuff all over the place. But Calgary is not as big as Toronto, and people have different habits, right? But still, I'm surprised to see that somebody's ordering delivery so early in the morning. Like, I'm guessing these are the people that have been up all night, partying. Maybe there was a wedding, right? So there's a lot of weddings on weekends, right? So maybe somebody was dancing all night, and then they decided they want a burger at 5:30 in the morning. You cannot fault them, right? So we're here to serve. Let's see what happens next. Well, it's what is it, 6:40 a.m. I'm getting ready to get another coffee, probably, because now the Tim Hortons is open here at the Esso, and haven't done anything. No trips. The phone beeped a few times, but everything is too far, like, I don't know why they advertise this. What is it, 3.6 boost, which is basically, I just wanted to try it, right, and make a video in case somebody's wondering. But basically it's all BS. You would think that, if normally they offer you something for like, I don't know, $5, $7, $10, then it says 3.6 boost, you would see like, I don't know, $20, $30 for a delivery. But that's not true, because that boost, what they call it, like Uber, right, it only applies to the base fare, which is like a couple of bucks, and all I saw was everything was too far to the east for some reason. Like, I'm sitting just north of downtown, and now I know Denny's. There's a couple of Denny's restaurants that are open 24/7, and then at 6:30, I know a very busy place near a Walmart, just north of me here. There's a IHOP, International House of Pancakes. They open at 6:30, and nothing. So I'm just sitting here feeling like an idiot. Why did I do this? Just basically sitting here and watching a bunch of weird people walking around, because there's a park over there to my left. Behind me there's a park, and I see some homeless people are coming out of there. Like, there's one guy, he's just walking very slowly with a hoodie, and he's like, really sick, and he's can barely walk. And so first he went like this. He went to the gas station. I'm guessing they let him use the washroom. Then I see he was crossing the street on the other side. Then he went to the park, the same guy. And now he slowly crossed the street back. And then I saw some lady who was bent like this, all the way to the waist. I don't know, like some people, some kind of a disease, right? When you cannot, stand straight. She's all bent down, like her head was at her waist, and she walked slowly and got coffee, 2 cups, and she went back to that park. I don't know. And there's this guy, yeah, it's far, but that yellow car, that's a checker cab. I don't know, people still use cabs? I thought everybody was using Uber. But the Tim Hortons inside that open at 6, they have drive-through there on the right, and it's busy. People are lining up through drive-through, and now it's only 6:43. And so this is the picture that I'm looking at. You see, like, these little dark logos. So I'm here. That's why it says 3.6 boost. Oh yeah, man, let's make some money. And as you see, the Starbucks is busy. Some fills something. And here's the airport. And actually there's a couple of busy places over there, but that means nothing. And then these guys over here. DoorDash. Airdrie was busy and the Northwest was busy, but now the entire Calgary, see, it's not red. That means that you cannot even click the dash button, so there's no deliveries available. And that's what happens when you try this early Sunday morning. So July 23. Basically, don't do it. It's a waste of time. So basically, I'm feeling just getting another coffee and then maybe wait 10-15 minutes and go home. But I wanted to try it, see what's all this noise is about, all this boost pay. Like, what is it, busy at 5 in the morning? No, it's not busy. Even the taxi guy, you would think that the cab would be busy, but we are far from the airport. I'm guessing that's who would use a taxi, early in the morning. All right, time to get coffee. Well, just did my first trip. I was declining it, but then there was nothing better. What is this? See, like, that's the kind of like BS you have to deal with. 19 kilometers, so they want me to go to Chestermere, which is a suburb. 19 kilometers, so 35 minutes, 18 bucks. This is just ridiculous. But you see this number, 11 bucks? Oh man, but it was fun. It was shop and pay at a Walmart right across the street from where I bought this Jeep, from the east side. Okay, what is this? 10 bucks for 12 kilometers. And it's sending me south. So rise and shine breakfast, but 10 bucks for 12 kilometers, forget it. And so right across the street from East Side Dodge, there's a big, Walmart. And I think there's a Canadian Tire. Yeah, there's a Canadian Tire on the other side. So, and there was a couple of others I declined because they had like 20 items or something, but they paid better. But last time I did 37 items, took me like 2.5 hours, because it was all over the store. But this one, so I declined that previous one, but then this one comes in, it says I think it said it should be more than 11, because there'll be a tip, probably gonna be like, I don't know, 15 bucks, 18 bucks, but it only had 5 items, and I said forget it. So I left that gas station, basically drove back east towards Highway 2 and then crossed Highway 2, and that's where I'm on 36th Street. And all the items except water were baby food. So basically there was like one container of milk and 2 jugs of water, and then the other 3 items was some baby snacks, and so milk and water were pretty close. And then I went to the cereal aisle, because one of these snacks it's at cereal. I go there, I see kids cereal, but there's nothing for babies. And lucky for me, there was a guy there, Walmart guy, working on, restocking the shelves. I said, where can I find this? And I show him the picture, and he says, oh, it's in the other, he says, in the corner of the store, there's a baby section. I go there, and it takes me like maybe 10 minutes, and I find all the 3 items. And then I go to pay $4 for 8 kilometers. I go to pay, and I get a bag this time, because last time they didn't even give me a tip because I didn't bring bags. And right, remember, I was doing it downtown. The guy comes out. No, I call the guy and I say, how do you want me to deliver? He says, leave at the door. But there was like 37 items, right? I said, well, you want me to just, I don't want to put it on the floor in front of your door, I said, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, you don't have bags? I said, I have my own bag, but nobody told me to buy bags from Walmart, because not over here, at least in Canada, they stopped giving you free bags, right? So you have to pay. And so this time I decided, because my order said leave at the door. And again, I don't want to put baby food and milk containers on the concrete. And so over there, when I was paying, a guy was walking, like a attendant, and I see that he had these blue Walmart bags. I said, sir, can I have one? And I don't think he even charged me for this, because I was waiting for the message on the screen, how many bags did you get? But there was nothing. I think they did give you a free bag or something. I don't know. But anyway, I got one of those blue bags, and I carried the water. She sent me a message, a friendly reminder, the door is on the right. So it was like a rental unit. It says, building number so-and-so, unit C, the door is on the right of the building. And so I was able to find it, just leave it there. Took a picture and rang the bell. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Sometimes people with babies, they don't like when you ring the bell, but there was nothing. Usually they give you in the instructions, they say, do not ring the bell. Baby is sleeping or something like that. But this one said nothing, so I left everything, rang the bell, and ran away. And so that's all so it's 8:26 now, right? I was here at 5:30. So I made $11, but only because I turned down previous offers because they were cheap. But now I just realized, okay, they were cheap, but now I could have made $50-60 by now. Instead, I'm just sitting on my butt. It's kind of like very similar to trucking. You're sitting there, you don't want to take a cheap load, right? You're sitting 1 week, second week, right? And then you need to have money in the bank to pay for the truck, the trailer insurance. And the bank, as I always say, banks don't care how many dollars per mile you're charging, right? You see, like, what is this? Okay, I go here on the other side of bypass, and then I deliver here. $19, 17 kilometers. Walmart grocery store. And it's a package. 17 kilometers. No, should be $1.50. 17 kilometers. I want $1.50 per kilometer, which is 17 plus 8 should be like $25. But you see, that's what I'm doing. I'm turning down cheap loads, as I call them, or cheap orders. But what's happening is that I end up sitting on my butt, not making any money. So that's a good topic for discussion. Do you sit on your butt waiting for a good order, or do you take cheaper ones so that at least you're making some money? Like, yeah, it's always a dilemma, But I don't have expenses as big as what I had when I was a trucker, right? Otherwise, of course, I would have to start moving, because I need to back then my expenses sitting were 10,000 Canadian a month. That was the payment for the truck, the trailer, the Jeep, the booster, and insurance. So without moving, I had to make 10,000 a month or have in my account. And so that's why I couldn't just sit on my butt and wait for a load that pays 10 bucks a mile, right? You have to take something to put money in the bank, right? But now I don't have those kind of crazy expenses, so I can wait. But then of course what's happening, you see, like 3 hours I've been waiting for a good order, and I took this one, so it's like a good rate per kilometer, and it only took me, I don't know, 15 minutes to complete this shop and pay at Walmart. And then the place where this lady lives with the baby, I don't know, 3 clicks away from Walmart, you know. So it was a good one, but that's all I did in 3 hours because I was waiting for a good order. I don't think it's a good strategy, you know. That's it. I got tired of sitting there. And actually it's not downtown. Downtown is over there. So I was east of downtown.
In 600 meters, use the right 2 lanes to take the Alberta 2 North Deerfoot Trail Rim.
So basically going back to oh yeah, as soon as I did one small trip for DoorDash.
Use the right 2 lanes to take the Alberta 2 North Rim, then merge onto Alberta 2 North.
But actually it was pretty good because it was 8 bucks and the driving distance was 2 kilometers, you know. So that's what I'm looking for, like, you know, kind of like that, like $4 a kilometer, you know. Well, I drove like 1 kilometer to Wendy's, no, A&W, picked up a teen burger, and then drove 2 kilometers. And when I was at the store, it was ready. And then drove 2 kilometers, and it was.
Continue on Alberta 2 North for 3 kilometers.
And there was a $4 base pay and $4 tip, so $8. Took me, I don't know, 10 minutes. Just compare that to that shop and pay, where Uber paid me $11, but it took me at least half an hour, you know, even with the 5 items only. So basically, yeah, shop and pay, it's not a very good you know, usage of your time. Like this time, you know, I did it because it was only 5 items and because I had to do something, right? But this was kind of like more for the sake of a video, you know, because I see there is some interest. I do these videos about Uber and DoorDash, and I see people watch them because I'm guessing, you know, just like
meters, keep left to stay on Alberta 2 North.
Just like me being an immigrant, right? So that's the easiest thing you can do. Sorry. The easiest way to make money is to either become a Uber taxi driver or
keep left to stay on Alberta 2 North.
Or do this. But I'm really not into this like full time, right? Because
continue on Alberta 2 North for 9 kilometers.
Because I don't wanna kill my new Jeep. So I just hit today I hit 3,000 kilometers, and I had it for less than a month, I'm thinking. That's why, you know, I was only taking something like this Wendy's order, you know, like where the pay is much better than the kilometers. But just basically, yeah, sitting on your butt for like $50, $60, $70, that's just ridiculous. So basically, it's only good if you like really in a bad position and you have an old car, you know, like if you don't have money for food, you know, if you're like really desperate, then this DoorDash and Uber Eats can work. But other than that, like all day today, like yeah, there was much more offers from Uber compared to DoorDash, and that's only two I'm using. I don't have the Skip, which is also popular here. Skip the dishes. I don't use that one because, you know, that'll be too much. And I never use it myself, actually, you know, like I'm using the apps as driver, the same apps I'm using as a customer. Mostly, like when I want to order a takeout, I use Uber Eats because it's cheap and they usually deliveries are pretty good. But a couple of times, yeah, I wasn't happy because the food was cold, you know, but that happens very rarely. And then some restaurants, like my favorite Afghan place, they don't work with Uber Eats. So for example, if I want to get my you know, kebabs or mantu from this restaurant, I have to use DoorDash, you know, and I use them a couple of times, right? And that's why I think as a driver, if you want to try this, it's best to stick to the apps that you use as a customer, you know, because then you will have some idea of how the system works. For example, I never in my life used Skip the Dishes, you know. I know some people are, oh man,
3 kilometers, take exit 268 toward Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
that's Canadian, right? Because the Uber and DoorDash, of course, they are American, but Skip the Dishes is a purely Canadian venture. And so some people feel patriotic about this here in Canada, and so they refuse to use DoorDash. They use Skip the Dishes. But I don't care about that. I never use them, like I said, I never use them as a customer. So I'm back in what DoorDash calls Calgary North. So my area is Calgary East. Now I'm going north towards Edmonton, and so I'm gonna take the next exit, which is Country Hills Boulevard, and we're gonna go west just 1 kilometer, because that's where all the restaurants are.
800 meters, take exit 268 toward Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
But again, so yeah, this was just kind of like an experiment for Sunday morning, because I had nothing better to do, so I decided to wake up at 4:30
Take exit 268.
and go downtown for 5 a.m. But you know, I watched some YouTube videos.
In 600 meters, keep left at the fork. Follow signs for Country Hills Boulevard.
I had some coffee. I had 2 coffees, right? I was watching the homeless people have fun. Yeah, man, like one guy was pushing the cart and
Keep left at the fork, then turn left onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
and it looked like something got stuck in his brain, because he was doing like a I swear to God,
Turn left onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
like he would push the cart, you know, like I think it's called the Edmonton Trail, like the street, like this was Highway 16, like that 4-lane highway where on the other side there was 7-Eleven, and I was sitting at the Esso. So there's Highway 16, which goes west and east, right? And north and south next to the Esso was Edmonton Trail, right? And so this guy, I see he's crossing Edmonton Trail to the east side. Then he stands there just looking at nothing, and then he waits for the green light. He crosses Highway 1 to the southern side and then they crosses Edmonton Trail again west. Like he was just doing a circle, you know, with that shopping cart, because I saw him like 5 or 6 times, you know. It was funny. But there was some kind of a park behind me. That's where all these homeless were congregating.
Continue on Country Hills Boulevard northeast for 800 meters.
So yeah, so now that's Highway 2 that I came from the south, right? So now we're just going to this plaza. Hopefully there'll be a couple of runs, and then I'm gonna call it a day, probably in an hour or so.
In 500 meters, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto 14th Street Northeast.
And here we have a Starbucks, we have McDonald's, and then
use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto 14th Street Northeast, then turn right.
yeah, I'm not gonna make it. This turn signal is very short. Like usually the trick here is, because there's 2 lanes, right? But if you see like 4 vehicles in this lane and nobody here, even though to turn into the plaza, of course, you have to use the right lane after the turn because it's on the right. But if I see more than 3 cars here, like maybe 4, I know that I will not make it on the green arrow because it's too short. So I would go here and then just wait till the last car passes me in over there, and then I turn right. But I don't know what's wrong with this turn signal, why they made it so short. Like it's a busy intersection, but this is like a very good area. So this is Calgary North, as DoorDash calls it, right? And we can exit from this, and let's see. And it's nuts. Like before, as soon as I did that Wendy delivery, this is DoorDash, that side is still called East, even though it was down at the bottom. It was busy. As soon as I delivered and I go back to look for orders, it says schedule, meaning that there's nothing. And now, and this area was busy. This area, that's why I decided to move here. This Calgary North was busy. As soon as I moved here, the red color disappeared, so it's not busy anymore. But there's a McDonald's, there's Starbucks. I'll probably go grab another coffee. And they're building something here. I'm guessing it's gonna be either another gas station or a restaurant or something. Check this out. I love this feature. Look how many cameras I have. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I like this, but for some reason it doesn't want to, like this. You can make it really precise, you know. Like I'm just having fun with this rear view camera, and I can see my hook, my red hook on the bumper. But unfortunately, for some reason, see this thing, it defaults to this. It shows me actually the top, you know, like a 3D top view, rear view. And so if I Like this is, you know, pretty advanced over here. I can even, wow, look at this. I can even increase the scale. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna wait here for maybe an hour, see if I can pick up a couple of other orders, and then go home. Now look at this. That's another reason why shop and pay should be illegal. So that lady, right? So I spent half an hour picking up her baby food and carrying those 2 1-gallon jugs of water. So it was like 4 liters, right? And the pay was sitting at $11 because they give you an hour. You know, like when the customer orders with Uber, when they order a delivery, they prepay the tip, but after the delivery is made, they have 1 hour to change the amount. And so that's why you don't see the tip when you deliver. You know, like on DoorDash, it shows you the tip right away. Like I did that Wendy, right? It says, okay, base pay $4, tip 4, you made $8. So I like that system better. But Uber, they're thinking that maybe, you know, somebody, and actually it does happen sometimes when the let's say the customer prepaid, I don't know, $5, and then they maybe like my car or something, or liked how I was, you know, acting professionally, and they gave me, instead of 5, they gave me $10. And so Uber allows you within 1 hour after delivery, you can change the tip. But as a driver, you don't see the tip until 1 hour passes, right? And so, and then you get an email, like, look at this. Uber, you click here, inbox, you get an email, and look at this. Like a very congratulatory message. You received a $1 tip. You see this? So this was for the Walmart. So fare was $9.34, promotion $1.69. I don't know what that is. Boost $1.69. Tip $1. Your earnings, see, duration 37 minutes. 10 kilometers. Okay, well, I went to I drove to Walmart, but after that it was like a couple of kilometers only. So, and so I spent all this time shopping for baby food, and she gave me $1 tip. Like, unbelievable, you know? Like, if you're ordering a delivery, shouldn't you be ready to pay, I don't know, $10, $20, you know? Like, who does this? $1 tip, $3 tip? Like, this is ridiculous. So that's all I made with Uber. $12. If we go to, oh, I see now it's busy. Okay, now north is red, and I see dash now, so I can click this. Dash until 10 a.m. Okay, so now we're looking for orders on DoorDash and on Uber. But Uber, I think I mean DoorDash, I think I did only 2 trips. But what I find is that DoorDash quite often pays better than Uber. See, like $8 for, like, I don't know, 2 kilometers, you know. Uber is too cheap. Probably that's why it's popular. It's cheap for drivers, which means that it's cheap for customers, right? Like, the delivery fee is very small. Well, just to conclude this experiment, so I did actually yesterday I got a email from Uber congratulating me on 100 deliveries. 100 deliveries. And I cannot believe that I reached 100, except that, you know, it's all dimes and nickels, and you just, you know, I don't want to add more kilometers to my car, you know, but it looks like average was like 100 kilometers a day, 60 miles, you know, and that's just too much, because that's like 3K a month. So that's like 36,000 in a year. for very low pay. So basically it's not worth it. I think today was my last day of doing this. I better focus on, you know, freight brokerage, equipment trading, you know, buying and selling machinery, and photography and YouTube. But you know, some people were, you know, showing interest to the topic, so I wanted to show, you know, this is how you can, you know, at least make some money for food, you know. But that's about it. And in other news, you know, since this east, why it was always so quiet, you know, for deliveries most of the time, it's because we don't have mostly it's like rentals here, right? A lot of rental places, so people are not as well off as in other parts of Calgary. And it took them a long time, but finally we have a big grocery store. This is like a couple of clicks away from my home. Like before, if I wanted to buy groceries, I had to drive about 10 clicks west to basically where I was sitting at the Starbucks over there, but just like 5 minutes more west. That's where all the stores are. We have Sobeys, we have a real Canadian superstore. Like, you know, here all you have is pretty much either fast food restaurants or liquor. Like liquor stores are on every corner, because it's in Alberta, liquor stores are privately owned, whereas in Ontario, where I used to live, it's all government, right? Owned by the government. But here it's private, and so they're everywhere, and they're usually not busy, but prices are higher than in Ontario. I mentioned this. So what's cheaper here is gas. Gas is way cheaper. Gas and diesel are way cheaper than in Ontario. Of course, real estate is cheaper. So I like Alberta. But so finally we have this, and it's called Freshco. Cello Freshco. I was here the other day. For some reason I wanted to bake some chicken wings, and I looked at pictures online, because it just opened, brand new. You know, there's this whole plaza is brand new. Oh, and also finally we have Shoppers Drug Mart, like a pharmacy, you know, if you want to buy like toothpaste or something with some vitamins. Finally we have it here, whereas before, again, I had to drive like 10 kilometers. So I'm just waiting, basically, if they can open like a Walmart somewhere in this area, because we don't have anything here, then for sure prices on apartments and houses will jump up, you know, because that's always happens when you have a Walmart. But for now, so yesterday I went in there, I got some chicken wings, baked them in the oven. The guy told me how to cook them. It was pretty good. So now I'm back here for more wings. And they also have fish, they have lots of veggies. A very nice store, you know. I never heard this name before, Cello, but it's pretty good. So, but that's it. Yeah, that's it between me and Uber and DoorDash. So now I just have to discard these bags, because yeah, I don't want to add more kilometers to my vehicle, even though I was trying to be very selective, and I only did you know, orders where the pay was much higher than kilometers. But still, you see, like this morning, right, I drove, what is it, like 15 clicks south, then 15 clicks back. It's just useless. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed the early morning view of Calgary. Thanks for watching. Bye.